Welcome back to New York Links. We'll be bringing you more coverage from the Nyam Jamaica book signing coming up. I'm here with Melody. Melody, we want to get your thoughts on what you think of Bob Marley. And I also understand you share the same birthday as him.
Correct. However, due to the fact that he does have so much inspiration on the youth back in the 60s per se and also the 70s, because I remember migrating here in the early 60s and then going to school, and it became a big movement to know that he inspired so many of us to move into the realm of cultural identity. So he really gave us that realm where we can have a vision in identifying our roots and passing it on to our children, especially those of our roots from Africa.
Thank you, Melody. Well, ZYNC TV just had a panel discussion on whether Bob Marley should become a hero of Jamaica. So here's the first installment.
The criteria for establishing or conferring the status of national hero. There's an advisory committee which meets and makes a decision on conferring this honor. How that committee is established, is it chosen by the Prime Minister? No one really seemed to know what the criteria for that committee is, but the regulations for the Order of the National Hero are universally agreed upon. And the honor of the National Hero may be conferred upon any person who was born in Jamaica or is at the time of their death a citizen of Jamaica and rendered to Jamaica service of a most distinguished nature. So that's the official description of how you can be considered for national hero status. So we'll begin our panel discussion. You'll each have 2 minutes to answer these questions. Do you feel the Jamaican government has made a conscious decision to avoid considering Bob Marley for this honor? Or do you think there needs to be a people's movement to force the issue to become a priority? And we'll start with you, Mr. Terry Wilson.
In my opinion, Bob Marley is the most important artist out of the Caribbean and one of the most important artists out of the Americas. Bob Marley has brought Jamaican culture and music to the world, spanning every race. Bob Marley has done things that no other artist in the Caribbean has done for Jamaica.
You can also share how many times you've seen Bob Marley in concert.
Bob Marley about 34 times. Bob Marley brought finance to encourage Jamaican economy, and I think the Jamaican government should really make, if there's such a thing as a national hero, Bob Marley should be a national hero.
It's like he took a certain amount of pride, in his stance as the rebel and the outsider, and yet it is said that when Siaga was coming to him when he was pretty ill, and said, we're going to give you this OM, he said something like, well, if you want to do it, big man, you go ahead and do it. I mean, it's always nice to be recognized. I mean, it's so annoying that he isn't already a national hero that I almost think, forget it. They don't deserve it. Let him not be a national hero, because he's bigger than that.
Definitely, Bob Marley should definitely be a national hero, and even more than that, because I think in terms of not only economic impact he has had on Jamaica. I mean, the Caribbean doesn't have a lot of things. We don't export computers or build rockets or something. The most important thing in the Caribbean, arts and culture. And Bob Marley in that area is the greatest ever to come out of the Caribbean and possibly the third world itself. He's also the greatest exponent of a political message in music the world has ever seen. I mean, in the modern era.
We're back with more after these messages. And we're back. I'm joined here by Cookie Kincaid. What is your take on Bob Marley?
Bob Marley was the first photographic paying job I ever had in 1972 for his Catch a Fire album. Awesome, man.
Here's more on the discussion. Thank you, Cookie.
Bob was a representative of the poor and disenfranchised, and throughout his music, that is exactly what he talks about. And his music is very uplifting, not just for Jamaicans as well, but also for the world, because so many people who are oppressed, even today, can identify with his music. And so I think that definitely he is, without a doubt,
Yes, well, you know, in all fairness, I must say that I did a segment on the street, and I asked several people their opinions as far as Bob Marley being announced. Although Bob Marley is a wonderful musician, we all love his music. He brought tourism to the country. I mean, he was just wonderful as an entertainer. But at the end of the day, he got paid for what he did. And can we put that in the same category of people who risked their lives and a lot of other things? And he didn't meet the criteria. So, as far as an entertainer, great, but a national hero,
I will join with her in suggesting that Bob should not be a national hero. Bob, like reggae music, is Jamaica's gift to the world and a national treasure. And I don't think anybody is disputing that. Just look at this panel and you'll see the international impact of Bob Marley. The first three panelists on this table are non-Jamaicans, discussing a national matter as to whether or not who should be chosen to be a national hero of Jamaica. Quite frankly, every self-respecting Jamaican should have a problem with that. The issue of who our heroes are should be a Jamaican matter for Jamaican people to determine. However, this is not to say anything about the people sitting here. It is to say that Bob had an international impact beyond Jamaica, and we all recognize him as an international figure. Bob is a world figure. National hero might be something too small for Bob. Okay? The other thing that we should do is respect what our people have done in terms of the honors system in Jamaica. And so I did a little bit of research myself. There is a system that Jamaica has. National heroes are only one part of 6 categories of respecting people. Bob is honored in the Order of Merit. Now, what is the Order of Merit? The Order of Merit, I'll just tell you what it says from their documentation. The Order of Merit is accorded to one who has achieved eminent international distinction in the field of science, the arts, literature, or any other endeavor. Now, each order has a motto, and the motto for that particular order is that he that does truth comes into the light. Now, that's Bob right there. Bob was all about truth and light. Being awarded the Order of Merit is indeed the appropriate recognition for Bob, based on what he has done, as well as based on the national system of honoring people. And it's no disrespect to Bob, but Bob is appropriately placed and recognized by the people and government of Jamaica. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Considering Bob Marley's lyrical content and how he lived, do you think this move to make him a national hero is more important to fans? And speculate on whether you think this would have been important to Bob.